Hello everyone, hello. I hope you all can hear me fine. Please let me know on the chat if you can hear me fine. Welcome to another stream of Hugo's Desk. This week we have two streams actually. So we're doing today the first one, which is the Honest Showreel Review. And then we are doing one on Thursday, which is the radio show where you can submit your questions and we can talk about topics and have a great discussion with the community. But I hope you're having a nice week. Start of the week, it's Monday. I'm trying this thing out of seeing what happens if I do a stream on Mondays. Not sure. I'm still trying to experiment which are the best days of streaming because I'm trying to do twice a week, so that I can do the showreel reviews and also the radio show, and also the Nuke workshops, and so trying to experiment which days of the week would be the best for the streams. I'm kind of thinking that maybe Monday and Thursday, or maybe Tuesday and Thursday would be the days. That's what I have in mind, but today I'm trying Monday to see what happens. Anyway, as always, I'm streaming simultaneously both on Twitch and on YouTube. It's up to you to choose which one you prefer to see. Of course, there's always quite a lot of people watching on YouTube. So usually the chat is more lively on YouTube, more people chatting. There's always less people on Twitch chatting, but it's up to you really to support the show and also to view on your preferred platform. Always remember, of course, if you want to support the show on Twitch, it is very easy to become a subscriber for free. If you have Amazon Prime, you can just put your Amazon Prime account and linked it to Twitch, because Twitch belongs to Amazon. Amazon bought Twitch years ago. And so if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe to my channel, which means Amazon pays me $2, but you don't pay anything because it's included on your subscription. So if you want to, that's why I have the Amazon Prime, that's why I stream on Twitch. If people want to support it, they can do that as well. Anyway, today it's the showreel reviews. We have just one showreel actually to go through today because we had another person, but they canceled last minute, so we only have one showreel today, and I haven't watched the reel yet. But just wanted to let everyone know that these streams are only possible because of BenQ Europe. And so I really wanted to thank BenQ for the amazing support they give me every year. And of course, goes without saying that I can't thank enough Vincent for all the support he provides, both him and his team as well, both from BenQ Europe and also BenQ UK, and thank you so much for the support. With that in mind, I'm just going to roll a BenQ commercial for just 30 seconds. They are the sponsors of this stream, so without further ado, again, can't thank enough BenQ for supporting the stream. I'm going to roll their commercial, and I'll be back very, very, very soon. Okay, well, again, thank you so much, BenQ, for supporting the stream like this. I do apologize about the noise. I do have my air conditioning on. It's a bit warm in London this week for some weird reason. But just wanted to also let you all know that we, of course, are going to do a giveaway at the end of the stream. This is always every time. So if the air conditioning is too annoying to everyone, just let me know and I can pause it once in a while and then put it back again. With this in mind, don't forget that we are doing a giveaway at the end of the stream. This giveaway will be provided at the end of the stream. There is a link. That's the QR code. The link is on the top of this chat, of course. But if you want, you can also go to this link. I'm just sharing it both on YouTube and on Twitch as well. So that is the giveaway for my Nuke course. Remember also that my Nuke course is available right now at 50% off as well. And so you can also sign up there. Of course, maybe wait for the giveaway since you might win. You never know. But that's the course, which is available 50% off right now on my Shopify store. There's 2 courses there as well. And there's other things as well that I want to just mention really quickly. Don't forget that the VFX Notes podcast is on Patreon now, and you can support the show by donating, or you can buy the individual episodes, or you can also become a member. Now, we have specific episodes that are only on Patreon. So if you want to watch them, we release them once a week. And these posts are only supported for Patreon. So that means if you want to watch our podcast about Deadpool, or our podcast about Twisters, or our podcast about Gladiator 2, or even Civil War, which is what we're releasing this week, or Mufasa, you need to go to Patreon. That's the only way of watching it. You can either become a member on Patreon and you get them every week, or you can buy them individually, just the episodes as well, if you prefer. So with that in mind, also last thing that I just wanted to mention is that the last showreel review is next week. And so the last of this batch of showreels, I need to schedule the next ones. This is the 21st of April. As we talk right now, no one has booked their slot yet. So we had 2 people, but they canceled. And so if you want to become part of the showreel review, you can book your slot on the link that I've posted now on the chat, and you can submit the showreel to the Dropbox link that I'm posting on both chats right now. So if you want to be part of it, next Monday we have two slots available if you want to become part of the showreel review. Remember that it doesn't really mean that you have to have a showreel. It can be individual shots, it can be unfinished shots, it can be stills, it can be work in progress, it can be really anything. This is your opportunity to get some feedback and think of it more like a review of your work, not really like a showreel review really, but more like a session where I'm giving you tips and I'm giving you pointers as to how the shot could look and trying to help you to make the shot better and better. That's the whole idea and the purpose of these streams. The last thing that I'm going to just mention is, as I always say on every week, if you are interested in good food, you have the Green Recipes for All book available on Amazon. It's available on all Amazons. This is the book that my wife has made. If you want to support a small creator like her, she has a YouTube channel as well called Green Recipes for All. It is available on hardcover. It's available also on soft as well. It has 55 recipes, amazing recipes from soups to desserts to main dishes as well. I'm going to put the link on the chat as well, so if you want to check it out, that's the link and the QR code. And it's available on all Amazons. I'm going to just drop the Amazon European UK link, but if you want, you can buy it on the United States and Italy and basically it's available on all Amazons. It's also available on Kindle as a digital book as well if you would like. It's a great gift, and for people that love food, it's an excellent book that you can buy. And that's really it for my section of the stream of promoting things and just like mentioning things that you can support the show and all of these things, the course, the book, the streams, the memberships, the Patreons, everything just helps me keep this stream alive. Don't forget that, it's very difficult to have sponsors these days. It's also very difficult to run a business on YouTube. And so anything you can do to support the show, it's very, very welcome. And it goes directly to that stream, to the actual show. And I really want to continue making these shows. I love to do them. And I just need your support to continue to do them since they're so enjoyable for me as well. And I think the community really enjoys it as well. Anyway. With that in mind, let's just start the review, and hopefully they are here, and we can talk right away. As I mentioned, I did not see the showreel at all. I don't usually watch the showreels first. I've decided that it's like best not to see them, because then I get surprised and I can get my full attention at that moment to the stream. So I'm gonna contact them on Google Meet and see if they are here, and if they are here, and if they're not here, I can see that they are not here right now, but maybe they can come in and we can start the review. Yeah, so I'm waiting for them to log in, so be so kind to, let me see, where's your name? Sorry. So Arkiran, I think that's how I pronounce your name. So just feel free to log in and to put your mic on, and we can start the review. In the meantime, I'm going to go and find your showreel. It's on the folder of the submissions, and so that we can start this showreel review. Hopefully they are here, and they did confirm with me that they were going to be here present. So if you are in the chat, Arkiran, if you're in the chat, just feel free to log in into the call right now. So I don't know if you're in the chat. I haven't seen you here yet. So yeah. Okay. No one showing up. Well, that's interesting. They did confirm that I did get an email just like 10 minutes ago. Confirming that they're going to be here. I always confirm with everyone. Yeah, I got a confirmation. Yeah, about 45 minutes ago, I did get a confirmation. So, are you having a problem logging in? Do let me know on the chat if you have any issues or something. Hopefully they are here, and they can show up. Are you here, Arkan? Arkiran, I think that's how I say your name. Arkiran, I think that's how I say your name. I hope so. I'm gonna give you a couple more minutes. Yeah, could you log in and just see if... In the meantime, while I'm waiting for them to log in, if anyone has any questions, or if anyone wants to say anything... I hope they show up. If they don't show up, this is going to be the fastest showreel review that I've ever done, since I only have one today. Because we had two, but the other person canceled as well. So, yeah, maybe it's because Monday. Maybe it is because it's Monday. Hopefully not. They're not coming in though, so I'm a bit worried about this now. Are they coming in? I'm just going to email them again and see if they... Apologies, everyone. Since they confirmed, I thought this was going to happen. We are live right now. Are you attending? Okay. Well, this is new. Have you tried... Okay, so Leant asks me on Twitch, have you tried the new Intuos Pro tablet? No, I have not. No, the tablet is pretty cool. Thinner, lighter, smaller, better. The only issue is the pen. The buttons were better on the previous one. Well, I have not done that. I still use the old one. That's the tablet I use. This is the This is not a sponsored stream by Wacom, but this is the Wacom Intuos Pro. I think I've been using this for 10 years, I think, maybe a bit less. But it's fine, it works fine. I don't really need the new one. Often a lot of times I do this. I buy something and I use it for years until it breaks down. So until it doesn't really break down, I don't really need a new one. It's the same with my phone. I bought my phone. My phone is the iPhone SE, second generation. It's like 7 years old. It's pretty slow, but it works. I'm very much a person that only really only buys things when I need them. So, okay. Okay, Fry Yoshi says, imagine that. Next one will be super intensive. We can analyze every pixel. Yeah, do you guys think maybe this is because the last stream, the last Honest Showreel Reviews, and by the way, Arkiran, if you can show up any minute, that would be great. Anyway, do you guys think it was because the last time I did a showreel review, which was a week and a half ago or something like that, it was really intense. I scrutinized the whole thing almost frame by frame and spent like an hour and a half on each of the streams, on each of the showreels. Do you guys think it's because of that? It was so, because I found it really strange that people canceled the stream. I had one person today, one extra. This person is not showing up now. Next week I had also 2 people that canceled now. Could it be that people are afraid of these showreel reviews? Could it be? Do you guys feel that? Do you guys feel I'm being too harsh? Do you think so? Because this is the first time ever that we have a no-show. We never had this before. We've done hundreds of show reviews. In fact, this is the 30th show review on YouTube, but I did at least 70-something reviews on Twitch. So we are almost 100 show reels right now. Maybe they forgot. Well, Sajal, they confirmed. They confirmed with me by email 1 hour ago. So yeah. I guess, guys, we're not doing a show review today. Maybe they got the time zone wrong. Okay, you don't think it was harsh? If anything, you're too kind. Okay, thanks for saying that, Sajal. Well, people just reflect the industry. Everything is going down. Yeah, it could be that. But the weird thing, Mapu, is that we had fully booked like a week ago or 2. It was all fully booked. Brian says, no, because in industry, harsh is known as feedback. You're right, Brian. But, I've been doing this for a long, long time. I've been doing this show reel since 2018 or 17, something like that. I think 18. So, and I need to count them. I think it has to be at least 100 show reviews. And this is the first time I've ever had a no-show. Literally, like, no one showed up. This is the first time. Yeah. Apologies, everyone. I don't know if this is going to happen today. Maybe this stream won't happen. Yeah. Oh, well. Maraliti says, you are the most kind VFX supervisor in the world. Oh, thanks for saying that. You are the one being too kind. I doubt that I'm the kindest. No, I don't believe so. Yeah. Yeah, it's been 20 minutes. I don't think they're gonna show up. So, no, I don't think the showreel is gonna show up. So, I apologize. I mean, we have 40 people watching on YouTube. We have 6 people watching on Twitch. So I do apologize for the 46 people watching that no one showed up. Yeah, this is awkward. What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to ask questions or let's talk? Or should I set up speed run? Yeah, sure, but where are they? Let's review YouTube Reels with VFX. No, I'm not. No, Romy, I'm not taking it personal. Not at all, Romy. I'm just joking around. And thanks for coming back, Romy. Thanks for coming back. Don't take it too personal. I love the show reel. It was super interesting and insightful. Super grateful that you took your time. Thanks for saying that, Romy. I do appreciate that you guys are being very kind. Yeah, I don't really know what happened. Maybe it is a bad idea to do it on Mondays. Maybe that's the reason. I don't have anything booked for next week either, so maybe it will be a quick reel next week either. Well, they're not answering the email, so I don't know what you guys want to do. We could either, if anyone has a show reel that they want to do real quick, we can do, or not, or we can just close down the stream and we're back on Thursday. I am back on Thursday. Did I mention that? Maybe I didn't. I don't think I did, actually. I think I forgot. So we are back on Thursday for the call-in show. So the call-in show is on Thursday at 5 o'clock. So hopefully you guys can be here and there's people calling in and everything. So maybe we'll do that. Review a studio show reel. I'm not gonna review a studio show reel. Come on, it is gonna be quite tricky. That work is too good. So I can go a meet. My reel is in my channel, but I can go to a meet. Why you have a sad face, João? So yeah, it's obvious that they're not gonna show up on this show reel review. So yeah, Google is now asking me, "Are you still here?" I'm gonna leave now. Okay. Let's find mistakes with Veta. Oh my God, what mistakes? Okay, so I have a couple of people here. Mapu says we can do mine spontaneously. Okay, Mapu, where is it? Not enough particles on the orangutan drowning scene. Yes, that's great. Oh my God. No, guys, I think we'll just call it a day. It's fine. I mean, okay. So there's a couple of people here that would like to do, I guess. Okay, there's 3 people at least. So we have Mapu that says we can do mine spontaneously. So if that's the case, you need to send me the show reel, so that I can have it. And then we have João also that kind of said my reel is in my channel, but we can go to a meet, and he has a sad face, not sure why. So João, you can't go to a meet. Okay, I see. So no, that's no fun. I'm not gonna like talk about your stream and not hear you out. Okay. Dark Kenobi says, is it necessary to join Google Meet? Yeah, Dark Kenobi, I do that because I want to hear the other person's opinion. I don't want to just do I've seen channels that do that. They do a real review, but the other person is not there. I even have seen channels reviewing the show reels with no one, and they're just doing them by themselves. I don't think it's fair, because I think it's a conversation. I want the other person to also talk, and want the other person to also chat and give me what they've done to the show reel. So that's why I'm doing that. So apologies if it's inconvenient for you, but I just find that it has to be a conversation. Otherwise, I don't really know the context of all the shots. That's why. Context is very important. Yeah, Mikhail has absolutely right. Mapu, I've uploaded to your Dropbox. Otherwise, I can send you. Okay, so cool. You've uploaded now. Okay, I'll go and check. So maybe we'll do you, Mapu, then. I'm just gonna go to my Dropbox because I switched off Dropbox because of the stream, so I need to go into the browser on Dropbox to see. Okay, sorry. I'm just gonna go to the folder here and see if I can find your show reel. Where is it? Spontaneous Showreel Reviews. Maybe that's the new name I should give it to this thing. Okay, so file requests. Where are they? Where are they? Why is it so hard to find now? Where is it? File requests. Okay, found it. BenQ, and then the last one. Okay, so that would be the last one, which was 14, so would have been this one, I'm assuming. It doesn't say Mapu, but I'm assuming it's you because it was uploaded just now. So I'm gonna assume this is you. So I'm going to and I'll make a new link for you. Okay, Henrik. Okay, cool. So Henrik, it's I'll oh, Joan, don't worry about it, man. It's fine. Don't worry. Don't get fired, please. Don't do that. Okay, so Henrik, I'm downloading your showreel. So just give me a second. I'm gonna make a new meeting code, so that I can start the meeting. And so okay, so I'm gonna drop the meeting link on the chat. Please don't come in if you're not Henrik. Okay, please don't do that because that is not what I want here. This is supposed to be a review with them. So please don't come in to that link. Only Henrik. Henrik, right? Is that your name? Where is it? Henrik, yeah. So please only Henrik shows up, okay? Don't come in 10 people, okay? Please don't do that. Because I'm doing this kind of on the fly. We're improvising. Always the best, isn't it? To do a live stream improvised. Okay. Don't do it, guys. Okay, so we're live. I've sent you the link. The floodgates open. No one is showing up, which is nice. And I have your showreel here as well. Cool. Okay, you're here. So let's bring you in and see what happens. Hello there, can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for being so spontaneous, man.
That's fine. But, I don't know if you I don't know if you know, because you often say this on the streams. I can't share my webcam with you because I am already sharing it on the. I'm already streaming on 2 places, and so I can't share you anymore. Still haven't found a solution to fix that. So
should I turn mine off, or should I just leave it like this?
You can switch it off. I'm not gonna see it either, because I'm gonna be streaming. I'm gonna be sharing the screen with you for your showreel, so we can go through it. So because it's so slow, the stream, that I'm gonna share the screen like this. So you see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna do it in a second for everyone to see as well. I'm just gonna put it looping on the screen. I'm gonna just like do this, and okay. So while this is looping, I haven't seen it, of course. Why did you tell us a little bit about yourself? And again, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm a student and just finishing up my master thesis in Germany, here in Babelsberg at the Film University. So I'm looking at finishing by the end of the summer, I guess. So yeah, and I've been working on quite a wide range of projects so far. Like the one you see right now is a student's project. I've been also working in the industry a little bit.
Okay.
And then Corona hit, and then I started studying again because I couldn't find anything new. And yeah, so that's basically my most recent works.
Cool.
And
cool. Oh, excellent. Just a quick answer to Mikhail. Mikhail, I cannot stream from OBS virtual camera because I'm already doing that. I'm using OBS for Twitch, and then I'm using Blackmagic ATM Mini for YouTube. So I'm already doing it on 2 places. That's why I can't do it, Mikhail. But I will find a way. So Henrik, okay, so this is then not finished then, I guess. That's what you mentioned, isn't it? That's what you mean, that you haven't really finished the showreel, or is it like finished? Is it,
no, it's like I used it last year at FMX.
Okay.
It's like a finished showreel, but as soon as I finish my university, I will update it again. Yeah. But there's no really interesting stuff happened last year, so it's my most recent showreel, basically.
And you mentioned that you've worked a bit. So how did that? Is that while you were in university, while you were still studying?
No, before actually. Like the shots with the birds was a feature film I worked on in Stuttgart.
Okay.
And
are you in Stuttgart right now? Are you living in Stuttgart?
No, Potsdam. Or university, like near Berlin.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I moved here.
Oh, excellent.
And yeah, ever since I moved here, I haven't really had the opportunity to work for a big studio. I just do like visualizations as my job now.
Yeah, cool.
Besides
And
studying.
this showreel, how's it going? You send it. Did you get feedback? Did anyone say anything? Like, how's it going?
So I showed it like everybody basically at FMX in the recruiting thingy.
You were there last year or something?
Yeah, I even saw you.
Oh, you saw me.
I went to you talk.
You came to me to talk to me?
No, you had a panel, right?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. I had the podcast with Ian. Yeah, the VFX podcast with Michael. Yeah. Cool. Oh, thanks for coming. I'm not at FMX this year. It's the first time I'm not going for the last 9 years. So it's gonna be the first. Yeah, I've been going for 9 years, but I'm not going this year. No, I wasn't invited to do a talk, and then didn't really work out, and I couldn't go, and yeah, so we're not doing it. So.
Oh, big year then.
Yeah.
Special year.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've been there. So yeah. Cool.
Yeah. No, the feedback was kind of okayish. Like the biggest feedback I got, like I want to go like in the probably lighting rendering direction. That's like, and maybe modeling, but most of like lighting rendering for feature movies. And the biggest feedback point was that I should like focus more on that, because now at the moment it's like all over the place and showcases everything.
Yeah.
And basically that was the biggest thing. Yeah,
that's the unfortunate thing about the industry, is that it's becoming more and more a specialized industry. So the bigger the company you apply to, the more specialized they want you to be. And so it really, at the time of the generalists and the time where people did a lot of things at the same time, it's kind of like starting to go away a little bit. And, well, let me put it this way. Kind of. Okay, so it really depends on the industry. Like back in my time, like when I started, it was all about the generalist really. And now like it's really, really about the specialized person. But depends. Like if you're in a small studio, a boutique studio, then they really want you to be a generalist. So it highly depends on how what you want to do and which company you want to work for. Now, because there's so few jobs and there's so many companies, but it's so difficult right now. My advice to everyone is if you have multiple skill sets, imagine if you are very good at compositing, but also very good at lighting and also very good at modeling, and also like if you have multiple skill sets, it is not a bad idea to do multiple showreels and having the showreels dedicated for each job opportunity. So if you're sending to modeling, you send the modeling showreel. If you're sending to compositing, you send the compositing showreel. You can always post on the introduction letter or on the email or on the notes of the submission. You can always mention that you have another showreel on request, or sometimes you can even put multiple links. So that's also a possibility. And then if a company is interested on you, they might even want to watch the rest of the showreels. So that's a common thing, a common practice that sometimes happens when someone has a large skill set, like I can see that you have as well. So yeah. So unless you, and Mikael is saying, unless you want to go to the dark path of the generalist, okay, the dark part. That's funny, Mikael. Yeah, so
that's really cool to me as well.
So let's just get through this, and well, I guess the first thing I would ask you, your showreel says generalist, but what do you feel you're best at? What do you like the most, and what do you think you're the best at?
I'd say it is pretty much lighting.
Lighting?
I think that's like my strong point, I would say.
And lighting and compositing are hand in hand, because a lot of companies, the lighters comp the shots or help comping the shots. A lot of times that happens. Most of the times a lighter would start a comp. If they're not finishing it, at least they will give it to a compositor to finish. So maybe then if you'll enjoy that, maybe then consider doing a lighting compositing showreel, just for that. Yeah.
Okay. But would it be like just a slap technical comp, or do they even like completely comp it?
Well, it depends on the artists. Like like in my experience from working in really big companies, like if and even talking to really big companies, like they depends on the artist. Some artists really want to take the shot until the end, and a lot of times they will, especially if they're very experienced. They will finish the shots and then perhaps have support from compositing to do the other sections like rotoing, keying, and painting if the shot has that. If the shot has footage involved, a lot of times you'll have a compositor involved, even if it's a partnership with a compositor to do the shot or a handover to a compositor. So it really depends on the type of shots. From my experience, most of the really talented 3D artists, the most talented lighting artists that I've worked in my career for the last 20 years, they all want to finish their shots. Sometimes they don't finish them because of scheduling or because they have to do other shots at the same time. Or sometimes they work together with the compositing team to finish those shots. So it really depends on your position in the company. As a junior, I wouldn't say that you will even be involved on finishing shots anyway. But I think that as you progressed into the company and become more well-known and get to work with the rest of your colleagues, there might be more opportunities to composite the shots, But it's all about also learning your limitations, Like I've met a lot of lighting artists that know that they are not as good in comp as they are in lighting, and so they will do something and then hand over, and because they know it will have that final 10% of extra stuff that they might not have the time to go deep into, So it kind of depends on that. So, but as I would say that as a lighting artist, you are expected to know comp for sure.
All right.
You're not expected to know advanced keying or roto. You're not expected to do that. It helps, of course. But you are definitely expected to know how to comp live action with CG, handle all the UVs, all the passes, handle the 3D system of Nuke, how to import Alembic or FBX or USD into Nuke and share the pipeline in 3D and go backwards and forwards. And especially, you are very much, people are expecting you to know how to prep a comp for a matte painting artist, for example. So if the matte painting artist is going to build up a matte painting setup in Photoshop, it's expected for the 3D artist to set it up so that you can put the camera there and the scene and the proxy. And so it's a very much expected of you knowing compositing, And then it really depends on the company. For a long time, for example, at the mill, when I was there, the lighting artists would comp their shots together with us, and sometimes they would take them all the way until the end. Other companies, have a very specific bespoke compositing department. If you go to a big company like MPC or Framestore or ILM, but doesn't mean that there are not 3D artists also comping their shots there. They're also definitely that's happening as well. And then on the other spectrum, there's companies. I remember in the past I visited Blur Studios a few years back, and they didn't have a compositing department at the time. I don't know if they have one now, because the CG artists would be comping the shots because they were handling mostly compositing. Mostly CG compositing.
I see.
So because most of the work they were doing was with full CG. Depends on the company, and also depends on the company's culture. For a long time, Pixar hardly had any compositing on their shots, and now they do have compositing, but they still rely much more heavily on lighting and rendering. And then on the other spectrum, you had Blue Sky, which is unfortunately closed, but Blue Sky had a very heavy compositing department to help the CG. So it really depends on the culture of the company, of how, of what artists are where, so. But I think the feedback that they gave you about having a lot of things is definitely correct. You have way too many things on your showreel of different types of things, and it becomes definitely an issue when you're trying to get a position. But let's start from the beginning. So, first shot here. Tell me a little bit about this. It says Lux Film. What is this? What's this shot?
Yeah, Lux Film was the company I worked on in Stuttgart.
Cool.
Like, what was it now? 6 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. And the underwater, that one that was just a research project basically,
Okay.
where we were experimenting a lot with underwater stuff. And yeah, so I modeled the plant, like the plant with the glowy arm thingies, alien plant. I completely modeled, sculpted, textured it from start to finish. And then did some set dressing, and then was lighting and rendering basically, setting the mood, and gave it off to comp basically.
Oh, you didn't comp this shot? Someone else?
No, I didn't comp it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. But this is the final shot, right? This is the final comp shot.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it looks good. The shot looks good. I'm not entirely sure I would start the showreel with this one, but we'll talk about that once we are done with the whole showreel. The only thing that that kind of struck me right away was there's quite a lot of noise and a lot of problems going on the smoke the smoke walls. You know, you have like this not the smoke. Sorry, this is not the smoke. It's the underwater. Once you have, sometimes you have these warm volcanoes, and then you have like these puffs of smoke coming through the water all the way to the surface, and they're quite noisy. They have a lot of flickering happening on them, so they would probably require more rendering quality or a different approach to rendering for them to not pop so much. Especially the one on the right side is a bit distracting in that sense. You know. And the other thing as well, I think the rest looks really nice. I really like the atmospheric rendering and lighting that is happening here. It's really nice. The spotlights and also the glow effects, the spots that you've made for them to drive the glow and compositing is really nice as well. I think you did a good job with whatever this is, which is like a sub, isn't it? It's like a sub.
Yeah, it's a sub.
Yeah. You did a good job with also like the thickness of the water. I think this is really nice. Obviously, this is like an alien creature or something, isn't it? It's not supposed to be anything real, is it?
No.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. The sub. What's the English word? Like the sub exploring the underwater, basically, and then finding the alien plant.
Yeah. You were right, Mikhail. It's called you just wrote it here. Now I've lost the text. It goes a bit fast. I've lost it. The geyser. Yeah, that's right. You were saying the geysers. Cool. Yeah. So I think it's a nice shot. I think you guys did a good job. Yeah. I mean, I don't really see it. There's one little detail. It's a really small detail, and it really depends on the art direction, really, to be honest. But it is peculiar that there is like normally flaring and glowing happens because of the nature of the lens that is photographing it. It has to do a lot with the amount of glass, and also a lot with the diffusing, and also with any filtering or the casing. In this case, it would be a underwater casing to hide the camera. It is a bit weird that we have horizontal stripes on the foreground glowy things, but then the lamps on the sub, they are like a star flare. So often flaring is consistent between the lens, and so it's a, although, maybe someone can show me an example of the exact opposite. It could be as well. But it is often that you have, if anything, I think it would either be an horizontal strike on the submarine or a star shape on the glow on the front. So I think it should have been picked one or the other. But this is a really minute thing. And again, it could be a creative choice as well, because it does look cool. And so it isn't really it's not really a big deal. All
right.
Cool. So let's get to the next one as well. So
I have one question regarding the smoke. Like, I didn't do these sims and stuff.
Yep.
So would you just replace it then? Like, I have no option to. I don't have any of the files, so I could just use a different shot without the smoke.
No. You should leave it. It's fine. It's okay. I mean, I'm just mentioning it because it's noisy, and it's important for you to. always keep in mind that when you're talking with supervisors or an interview with a company, you are talking to them and presenting the shot and telling them what you've done and what you didn't do. And it's, first of all, it's important for you to also point out things. So you could mention to them, the smoke is a bit noisy, but we couldn't really handle the render at the time. There's no shame on that. You guys are students. No one is expecting you to have a massive render farm to render this. And so, but it's important for you to mention it because it's important for you to notice it. You know what I mean? Because if you are the person noticing it, at least they know that you are aware of that. And so it's important, because a lot of times I point out things to people on Showreel Reviews and they don't even notice it or they knew. I don't know. I'm not saying you did, but what I meant is, it's important for you to be the first to call that in. You know, like, oh yeah, well, fortunately the smoke wasn't done by me, but it's a bit noisy, I know, but we didn't have the render power to render it, you know, because we're students, we're poor students. We don't have like a render farm for us. So I would say that please don't take it out. Just leave it and just mention it when you're doing the interview. Just talk about it that way. Do not do what Mikhail just said. This is not my department. Don't do that. That's
none of my business.
Well, that is an answer you would sometimes have from an experienced or senior artist on a company when they're so senior that they don't give a fuck anymore, and then they say those things. But don't say that as a junior. One thing I would say is that you know, I think that it's, like I said, it's important for you to point it out so that they know and so that you can be humbled about it and say, you know, oh, it's not perfect yet, but you know, that's always a good way of showing to them that you are a good team spirit, and also you are humble as well. Okay, so next shot. Tell me a little bit about this, the bird thing.
Yeah, that was a feature movie we did. It was like completely produced in Germany, and as part of that company. It was basically a kids feature film movie.
Yeah.
And that was my first really big project I ever worked after my bachelor on.
Cool.
So it was really exciting for me. And I basically only did the lighting of the shot and then creation of the different render layers and rendering. That's all.
Yeah, for the compositing department. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just like throwing a light rig, adjusting the lights that it looks nice, just rendering, render layers, and send it off to the farm.
Cool. Are you happy with what the compositing did with it, or was it looking better, worse? How are you feeling about it?
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus.
No, you can say it on a very nice way.
No, I'm quite happy. Like, it really suits the general look of the film. Of course, it's like really warm and like I feel really reddish.
Yeah.
It like looks really red. But that was also the scene, so it fits in really nice. And I like how they made the colors pop. Like that,
you see that there is always a way to be very diplomatic about it and never be. Yeah, because that's the thing. Like as I say this many times on my Showreel Reviews, like when it's a final production shot, there's not much I'm going to say shit about it because it's been produced, it's been delivered, it's been broadcasted. Obviously, from a creative point of view, maybe I don't like it, or maybe I think it could be nicer. But it's been delivered. It doesn't really matter because I'm sure the director and whoever was doing the creative of this film were happy with what they have. And that's what mattered because they are the clients and they were the ones paying anyway. So, you know, for me, it's not my taste in terms of my personal taste, but I think it's well achieved and it's the lighting is really nice and really warm. And yeah, I think they did a good job with the compositing. It's a very short shot anyway. Very difficult to see in context, but yeah, it's good that you have it here. If anything, I think because this is a real production, because the shot before was not it's a test, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a company, but it wasn't like a real project. So
yeah, I would always say that you should start with real projects, and so you we'll talk at the end the order, but at least keep in mind that this should always have priority over tests and personal stuff, you know. Okay, so next up, we have these rats. What's happening here? Is that the same film?
Yeah, same project. Like, I think a lot of the movie comes now. It's the same movie, same thing I did basically. Got it, the animation, and then just created the whole lighting basically.
Cool, man. It's nice.
A lot of night shots.
I can see that. Yeah, it looks good. Composer should have worked a bit on the noise as well, and should have been probably more sampled so it doesn't have as much noise on the rat's fur. But and also there's some compositing mistakes here with the lines of the. Notice that right away, which is the motion blurs pass is probably breaking up with the depth pass. This is a very common problem. That when you start using depth of field and then you have the motion blur pass, they will fight each other. And normally what we end up doing is sometimes we have to paint that over or to smudge it so it looks correct, you know. But yeah, the composer didn't do that. Or they didn't have time for it. That also could be the case. Which is
not my department.
Yeah. Oh yes, exactly. No, but a lot of times people run out of time, you know, because you're delivering something and you're changing it and changing, and then you end up not having time to finish it. So I think it's a nice shot.
We had huge issues, like all the atmosphere. That was like 2 passes we had, like a blue fog and a yellow fog.
Yeah.
And that always make problems with the cutouts and stuff. That like was a huge pain, I remember.
Yeah, exactly. No, that is why deep compositing is so much easier for those kind of things. You know, deep compositing kind of solves a lot of those problems. From a lighting point of view, which is what you did, I think you did a great job. I love the moonlighting or whatever it is back then. I think it's a moon, probably most likely.
Yeah, it's moon.
It's really nice light. You have a nice balance of the interior of the tunnel as well, and you can still see the details of the rats as well, which is nice. So you have a nice bounce light there as well. Yeah, I think you did a good job. It's a nice silhouetted light and a nice rim light going on the fur there. Yeah, great job. I think you did a good job there.
Nice, thank you.
Cool. Next up, this is another film, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a movie from the university, from my university, and the movie is called Ice Pin, which is like a book adaptation from Walter Mörs, who's the author, and it's like the first time he ever allowed to that a movie is made about his stories. Okay. So it's quite a huge deal. And yeah, it was a huge, it's like a short, I think it was like 15, 20 minutes. And it's like a small chapter from his book. And I did basically the entire shot as soon as we enter the pipe. Like this was done in Unreal and my job was to match the shot flying into the pipe. And then everything until the real set is done by myself.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Yeah. And from start to finish, basically. Animation, layout, then the modeling of a lot of stuff.
Cool.
And
so I think there's kind of 2 things that I can see that you did a lot of things. You basically did everything on the shot. So it was a solo job for the whole thing, wasn't it? No one else was involved, right?
No, for my shot, not.
Yeah, because I can see that you've done basically everything. So the thing that I would say so let's start by sections. So in terms of lighting, I think you did a great job. I think it looks moody.
This shot is not mine. That's not mine yet.
Oh, it's just the interior.
Is not mine.
Oh, so just the interior. Okay.
Yeah, just the interior.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. Okay, sorry. So as you go in here, that's what you've done. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So starting for the lighting itself, I think is good. You have a nice bounce and you have a nice reflection into the surface of the tunnel as well, and the glowiness of the whatever this thing is, the gooey sewer thing looks cool as well, and you have these red lights as well, which is, I think that's right, like some kind of, what is that, a mushroom or something? What is that?
Yeah, it's like a mushroom plant which got
cool
in contact with the slime.
Okay, cool.
Which nobody knows exactly what it is.
Cool. So that's cool. I think you did a good job with that. Modeling wise as well, I mean, it's so fast and so blur very hard to tell, but it looks fine to me. I mean, I can see the chains, and I can see the metal bars and the tunnel as well. That looks really cool as well. The liquid sim as well, it's so quick, but it looks like liquid. It looks like glue and gooey. I mean, I'm sure if they were happy, that's what they wanted, I guess. So almost looks like this kind of gluey, almost like on the 80s we had these like really disgusting gluey green liquids that we had to play with, almost like that. I think my biggest, and then when it let's see here, when it goes out, that's not you either, isn't it? Again,
No, that's also me.
okay, cool. So
Now there's a lot of stuff also from the Quixel library,
okay, cool.
because furnishing the whole thing and modeling myself was kind of impossible.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the furniture is not made by me,
Okay, I see.
and that's real.
Yeah. And then the breakup, yeah, the breakdown and the shaded version. Yeah, cool. I think it looks great. The only thing that I'm having a problem with is the motion blur. The motion blur, when you go in here, this is not a very realistic motion blur. Notice how, if I go frame by frame, you see the distance between the frames of things. You should have a lot more motion blur between the objects. And so, especially if you look at these bars, if I go frame by frame, you see how much difference between a frame it is. We should be seeing a lot more motion blur. You see some motion blur when you're really close, but it's not enough. Now, by this time, it should be a lot more, and behind it should be a lot more as well. Not only the bars, but also the tunnel, the water. The whole thing should have, because it's very jerky. If I play it back, the motion blur is very unrealistic. And so it gives you a very jerky look. Now, I don't know if that was an option, if it was like a creative choice, or was it because you had some motion blur problems? Tell me a little bit about that.
It was more of a choice than problems. Like the rendering was a huge problem because I rendered it on my own machine. That was already a huge problem. And motion blur, of course, doesn't really help that issue. But it was more a creative choice because it's so fast. When we did like a lot more motion blur, it just
you couldn't
was just
see.
mess, basically.
You couldn't see anything. I know what you mean. It's a fine line. If you really make it realistic, you might not even see anything. I know what you mean. I still think you could have put a little bit more because it becomes unrealistic right now, which is a shame because it starts really nice here. And in here we have some nice motion blur going on. You see, like that's, if you look at the hills from the shot outside, when the one you didn't do, that's nice, the motion blur. But then when it goes in here, kind of stops becoming that. And so I think it could have been a bit more. Then you have some nice motion blur. Then when we go into here, that's better. This is much better motion blur. The tunnel, that's working much better. I think it's only the interior, the liquid tunnel, that you're having a really massive issue. It still should be more motion blurred. This should still be more, but it's on the brink of becoming almost hard to tell. And so I think that's a good choice. But I think it's the green liquid gooey tunnel that becomes a problem. So I think maybe consider that. But the rest is looking so nice. These lights are really nice. The atmospherics. This is a massive shot and a massive camera move. How was this? The camera move, was it given to you or did you do it as well?
No, I did it myself. Like it was quite a journey, this whole shot, because like first the director came to me, do you want to do it? I was like, yeah, sure. We talked about it and he was like, yeah, you have like 30 seconds for the shot. And I was like, yeah, great. And then I planned it all out. And then started working, and like after, I don't know, a month or so, he was like, yeah, funny story, Henrik. You have now 15 seconds. And I was like, okay, that's a lot less time. And we traveled quite far. And then he was like, yeah, I really like how far we travel. So I had a version where I cut it down like really bad. Like it was basically fly in and straight into set. And he was like, nah, I don't like that. I want like the swirling around in the castle. So that's what we agreed on. Then like this really, really fast, like it's sped up by like 4 times basically.
Okay.
But yeah, I did it myself, and like he really liked it. And yeah, camera animation is the only kind of animation I can do.
Okay.
Can't get into characters, but camera is always fun.
I think it looks. There's some frames here that look borderline photoreal. This looks great. Look at that. That's
No, that's
is that the footage?
set now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
As
That's
soon
footage.
as we hit the door there, there.
Oh,
it
okay,
blends over.
this is okay. So, because I was gonna say, man, you did a good job of lighting there.
Yeah, there we blend
Okay,
it
so
over.
is it through here? That's when it switches.
Yeah, there's. You see
Okay.
the orange line? I didn't have the line in my shot.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's how they blended it.
Yeah, you did a great job there, because the whole thing looks very seamless once you get in here. And I only noticed that because the flash is when you really see the whole set. This is a crazy camera move for them to do anyway. Jesus, on set as well. Yeah, so
It was a huge project. We had like, I think 300, 400 students working on it. Like it's one of the biggest projects we ever did at the university.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, and that's the breakdown.
Yeah.
Cool. Does the university have a render farm, or did you ended up having to render it yourself? But does the university have some kind of render farm?
Nah, we don't. We used to have one, but unfortunately, my course which I do got cancelled midway through.
Okay.
So they didn't have a render farm or anything, so it was all done at home.
Okay.
Which didn't make things easier, but no.
Mikhail is asking about the speed up of the is this like speed up by editorial later on, or is this the actual comp that you've achieved inside of compositing?
It's pretty much.
You didn't speed it up, right? You didn't.
I think I didn't speed it up.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they did, but I don't think so actually. Maybe I can check.
No, I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Okay, so next up we have another shot here, which is from Luxfilm. Tell me a little bit about this.
Yeah, it's also the underwater project again.
Ah, cool.
Here I modeled the hatch, like this, where the fish comes out. I completely modeled textured that. And yeah, then again, set dressing, like placing the sand and stuff on the submarine, fitting in the animation, and then lighting the whole thing, and then giving it to comp again.
Looks great. This is a great shot, man. Great shot. It is a shame that compositing let you down a little bit there, because there's like some really nasty pre-multiplication problems with the lines there. That's a really nasty pre-multiplication error. And also, you can actually see a full black outline around the whatever this thing is, whatever this monster is. And there's also this really awkward blue tint on the side as well, which is like a chromatic aberration, but it only happens on the fish. So it's a shame that the compositing kind of, maybe they ran out of time, I don't know. Like, but was this actually released as a film, or is it just a test?
It was just a test, and I think it was only released in form of stills on the website, if I'm not mistaken.
Is this the same thing as the first thing with the glowy?
Yes.
Okay, it's the same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So apart from the compositing, which is you didn't do anyway, so I think this is fantastic. Like the lighting and the whole thing, the texturing, the modeling, you did a great job with the hatch. The fish monster thing looks great as well. Yeah, this is really exquisite work. It's very realistic as well. I mean, if I was doing this shot, the only thing and this is a creative input thing, of course. If I was doing this shot, I would not leave it as clean as this. So maybe as a CG artist, you probably would have. This happens a lot when we're in production, like CG artists and end up like doing extra stuff on the shots. Would have been nice if you had like a nice particle system of floaty things on the water. You know, it's like you had like really small little floaters to give it.
We
more
have
thickness.
a little bit. The white thingies, you see, they were particle systems.
Yeah,
as you can see, they also clip through the hatch.
Yeah, but you needed a lot more. You needed a lot more, and also you needed some of them that would be on the foreground as well to make it thicker, so that you had some depth, like the focused ones floating around. That would be. I definitely think it would have been nice if it was thicker and more dirty water, more particles flying around. It would have given a more sense of water, because at the moment it becomes strange because it's like a bit too clean, especially on the front side of the shot. So Miguel is asking on the chat, the fish has no tongue. I mean, I don't know, Miguel. I don't know what type of fish this is. Maybe it's a weird fish that doesn't have a tongue. I don't know. It looks like a monster almost, so I'm not sure this is any realistic fish anyway. So this is a funny comment. I just wanted to mention that I just got an email response from the artist that was supposed to do the showreel. He did email me now, and he said he was waiting there for half an hour, but no one was there. I don't know, like I don't know what happened there, but we definitely were here waiting. So I don't know what happened there, my friend. If you're on the chat, do let us know, because then we can talk with you. We waited, my friend. We waited for 25 minutes, and I was about to close down the stream. So until Henrik here volunteered. I'm sure you're regretting that now, aren't you? Like, I hope it's not too harsh or anything. I hope you're enjoying the feedback anyway, Henrik.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Okay, cool. Okay, so next up we have this duck, I guess. No, it's kind of like a bird.
It's
dancing.
The funny bird of the movie, like the bird movie.
Cool.
And we had like a dancing scene. It's the same scene where the first bird was in. So it's like a pavilion at night, and yeah, also just lighting and render layers.
Cool. Okay. I mean, the lighting, which is what you did, I think it looks great. You did also the rendering. Looks very real. The whole thing is looking nice. It's very similar to the other shot of the flying bird as well. I cannot unsee the fact that he's floating. That's the only thing that I don't really understand why that's happening. Why is he not actually touching the metal? Do you know why? Why is he floating?
Maybe it's kind of weird. I agree. I have no idea. Maybe it's like just an error in animation, or like the proxies they used didn't match up.
Was this released on the film?
Yes, that's a final shot. That's the final
man.
shot.
No one noticed that? That's weird, because it's so obvious that he's floating. You can even see that there's no contact shadow. It's not even touching. So yeah, that is really strange.
It could be with the proxies of the lamps which he's standing on.
Look, it's even clipping the geometry as well.
Oh yeah.
So this is bad. Someone should have seen this. That's not good. Where was the supervisor? Was he asleep? Someone should have noticed this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I have to agree, like, I only noticed the left one.
Yeah.
Which always looked weird. Like, they always looked weird anyways. Like, how is he holding the clamps anyways?
Yeah,
kind of glued to his feet.
I know. It's very strange, yes. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, at that point, we had, like, really time struggles.
Yeah, well, I understand that. I didn't mean to joke. Didn't mean to joke with the supervisor, but often when these when these things kind of happen, it is important that everyone on the team kind of like just really, if you see, I'm not saying that you should have done that, but if someone sees something, always mention it, because maybe they didn't notice, or maybe they did, but they couldn't do anything about it. And then at least because sometimes things just go through. Like, a lot of time, there's a lot of moments in the industry where wrong shots were finished and delivered on the film, or errors, or there's even famous ones where you have the Starbucks cup on the table of Game of Thrones. There's like a lot of things like that people don't notice, and then sometimes it gets fixed, and then they update the show or they update the film, and then the next version that you see the film is not there anymore. But that's very common. But yeah, But yeah, from lighting wise, I think you did a good job. It fits in the mood of the film. It's very moody as well. It's dark. It's nice. Nice job. And the rendering as well is looking good as well. And the compositing team did a good job. It's just a shame the layout is missed that he's floating, or the animation. One of them, either the layout or the animation, missed that they're floating in the air. It should be what you said. It's most likely the proxy thing. Most likely when they were animating, the geometry was larger and then it became shorter. It could be that. So
yeah, probably.
Yeah. Anyway, so what's happening here? What's this?
That was like a personal project. It was like my first steps in, I think it was Unreal Engine 4 at the time. And we had like in university, we had like an Unreal course, getting to know an Unreal Engine. And we had like this kit. It's basically a kit bash of like props we had. And then I just like did some lighting, did some materials, and just threw this together just as a practice to get to know Unreal Engine.
Cool.
And then did like the camera movement.
And it's all rendered in Unreal as well, right?
Yeah, it's rendered in Unreal. However, I also comped it in Nuke and color graded it in DaVinci.
Did you just export it, or did you use the Nuke bridge, the Unreal bridge?
I exported it.
Okay. So what? They rendered like in EXRs with some passes, or was it just like the straight render?
No, it was the EXRs.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. There's some flickering and some problems on which is the typical anti-aliasing problems that you get from a game engine. Yeah. So there's some flickering going on the front here.
Yeah, just some lights which don't make any sense, which just like through the baking slip through.
Yeah, but I think that especially the kind of the flickering moe effect that you get, the initialization problems that you're having, especially on the door here, on the back there, they would be solved perhaps by using a higher resolution and then downsampling it and trying to sampling it more inside of Nuke. That could be a possibility. The possibility would be cleanup. You could try to paint it over or to clean up. That's a common thing that happens in the industry. Or you could have baked the door and then it wouldn't flicker, but then the reflections might not work. So it's tricky, but it is a shame because the shot does look really cool. That's the only thing really. I think the motion blur is looking nice. The lighting is looking nice. You did a really good job with the scene lighting and the atmospheric lighting and the actual overall look of it. It's quite nice. So yeah, I think that that's the only thing really that I would say. I also would say that maybe perhaps there's too little motion blur at the beginning of the shot. I think the first frames needed more motion blur, and then you could ease off the motion blur as we go through the bridge here. And there is like jittery. If I go frame by frame, you see it jumps here. Look, it goes 2 frames there. So you see like you have, yeah, there it goes. So you see I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it jumps 2 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, 10 frames later it jumps again. So you're missing frames. You're having frame drops. So either the engine is dropping frames, or you've missed frames on the rendering. So you need to like look into that because it's just gives it a very jittering effect by missing. There's at least 2 frames missing. Maybe there's more. Let's just have a look. Let's see here. So there is at least... that's not... Yeah, there's 1 missing here. So one at least missing. 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, so there's at least 18 frames missing. So there's either they're missing or there's some problem with your frame rate where you are, perhaps rendering on a frame rate different from your comp, or there's something going on here. Either is the conversion from the engine into your comp and then it's dropping frames, or it's an actual frame missing. You should look into that because it's very distracting. So
yeah.
Sure. Could be a lot of things. It could be the 2997 versus the 30, or it could be the 30 versus the 25, or there's something like either Unreal's frame rate is not the same as Nuke, or the other way around, or you have an actual missing EXR if you look at the frames, if you're missing something there. So have a look at that. But yeah, it's a great shot, and it's great that you have an Unreal shot there. It just looks, gives it. It's nice because you guys. How much Unreal is becoming part of the industry now, and it's really nice that you guys have here this shot here. Cool. So tell me a little bit about this. What's going on this house?
This was also a university course, and we had the job to do. It was like a Halloween special basically, and we should do a haunted house. That was basically the task. And yeah, again, basically I modeled the complete. Everything on the house is modeled myself. Cool. The fence as well. The plants are from Quixel, if I recall correctly. And the fountain is also from Quixel. It's a mesh together from own models and the Quixel models.
Cool, man.
So basically everything from start to finish again, including comp and color grading. Unfortunately, it's just a still so far, and I haven't found the time yet to render the passes. That was one of the feedback I remember now on FMX. They said I should render the fence part separately and then just fake it with a zoom in, and then just to fake the parallaxes.
Yeah, that would work. That would work definitely to make a fake 2.5D zoom, so that you would look like it's a real shot. I agree with you. It looks cool, but I think it needs more work for it to be realistic. There is there's something that bothers me in terms of the choice of breakup and damage that you have on the house. It's very strange, this damage, the damage that you have on the these holes that you have on the wood here. Apologies for that. So I just sneezed. So it's a bit weird that you have these really destruction what would have caused this to the house if you start thinking about it? Because when you have an old house, usually it breaks up in certain parts. So certain parts become old and others are not old. And so because depending on the moisture, depending on how much sun is hitting on one of the side of the houses, depending on how much shadow is on one of the houses, something might be more damage, other parts would be less damage. And then depending on the damage, maybe parts of it would crumble and other parts would stay alive. And it's very strange that this all is all very even. It almost looks like this house had a twister passing through with debris that kind of destroyed the house a little bit in little sections. So I would much prefer if the house was destroyed. Imagine this side. Let's suppose there was a lot more sun on it and the wood broke up a lot more and you had a lot of damage on this side. And maybe this section wasn't as damaged. And maybe that section was more damage. And then maybe one of these balconies broke. And so it would have been nice if it was more uneven in terms of damage. And maybe on the roof tiles, some of the tiles are broken and some of the tiles are not broken. And maybe there's a hole on one of the roofs and maybe one of the windows broke and one of the glass broke. And so it needs more mix and match of damage. It needs more randomization on the damage. That would be what I would say, in terms of making it look cool, because it does look really nice. It's just that what's really catching my eye is the choice of this damage on the wood that you've made, which is so even through the whole house. Yeah. So
it makes complete sense. Like
yeah,
that it weathers from one side or like 2 or 3 sides.
Yeah, you would have wind on one side and sun on the other, and water. Maybe you had a water leakage from the bathroom, and on that section would have broken down. So imagine if the bathroom is on this window here, and then there would have been water leakage, and that meant this entire section would have been blacking out, and maybe then the window would have broken. And there could have been a lot of really nice, and especially with the wind. And if you have a front part of the house here, this would have suffered a lot more wind than the front there. And so I would have had a hard time believing that this section in the front here would have been so broken up compared to that one on the side. So
No.
yeah. So yeah, Mikael on the chat is saying it's a nice weathery house, and then the fence is fresh paint. Hey, Mikael, maybe they are starting to recover the house, and they started by the fence. That's probably why. Cool, but it is cool, man. It's nice. So if you could do anything about that damage, that would be nice. And then the opinion you got from FMX is really a nice idea as well, from the fence to move.
Yeah.
So then we have this here, which is a kind of a ship, right? Like some kind of ship.
Yeah, it's like some kind of spaceship, and that was my how's it called in English? Like introduction test or like application test for the university. So basically, we got the like I don't know how to like a landing leg we got, and we had to include it in a 3D model. I made the light domes. That's basically the landing leg, and just like reused it, multiplied it by 3, and then did the spinning light dough thingies out of it. And the complete rest was done by myself, modeled by myself in in one very stressful night. And yeah, that's basically that. Just a random spaceship I came up with.
Before I go to this here, just a quick mention that Mikael has a really good point that there should be some kind of light wrapping happening on the sides of the house, so you should have a little bit more bounce of lighting coming through the left side and on the right side, especially the right side. Since you have like a much brighter background there, it would have filled in with a lot of diffuse lighting from the light wrapping.
Oh, yeah,
not
true.
much, but a little bit would have been nice. And also happening here on the front fence as well, especially the one on the left. So that's a good point. Another thing for you to make it move, maybe then you could put the smoke of the chimney moving as well once you start moving this thing around. So that would be nice. Okay, so for this ship, I think this ship, let me ask you one thing. Is this supposed to be glass in the front, or is it like a completely blind, unmanned ship? Is that what it is?
It's not supposed to be glass. It's like some carbonish material. I don't know. The only glass thing is at the front, where the two really bright 2 spots are. That's the only glass part, which is kind of very clean for the rest of the appearance of the rest of the ship. But yeah.
Okay. But how would they drive it? How do they see it? Is there is this the cockpit, this section here?
No, the very front of where you just pointed.
So this is the cockpit.
Yeah, and that's a glass material as well.
Oh, okay, so this is a massive ship.
Yeah, it's massive. It's massive.
Okay. I thought it was small. Sorry, I thought it was like a tiny ship. There's nothing to give it scale, so it's hard to tell. Because I think the reason why I thought it was small is because of the gigantic pieces of rust. I guess this is rust, right?
Yeah.
So rust is,
true.
If the ship is so big, the rust would be very detailed and small. It wouldn't be large rust. Otherwise, this ship is like about to break in sections. It would have been a derelict. It wouldn't really be ready to go into spaceship. So I think that's what really kind of like throw me off on terms of the scale. So maybe reduce the scaling of the rust to make it look like it's bigger. And well, this is a long project you've done a while ago, so maybe you're not going to change it. But what I mean is, if you do something like this the next time, consider making the rust with the proper scale, and then to give it scale, really, maybe consider putting something next to it to give it scale. So if you probably put it like another little small ship next to it or something, that would have helped for you to sell the size of it, But this is just a turntable, so of course this is not being put on the scene. But I think it looks nice. So what is going on the top there? Is that glass as well on the top or something? Is that...
Yeah, it's glass on the top, and unfortunately you can't see it on the turntable, but inside there's like huge gears which were meant to break up the material, whatever. Like at the front, there's like these spinning wheels. You take in the material.
Okay.
And yeah, on top there was. It doesn't make any sense, but it looked cool. So
okay, I see.
That's why I included it.
Cool, man. Okay, so let me just before I forget, let me just do one note here because I can't forget one thing. Okay. Okay, so. Tell me a little bit about this personal project. So I guess this is just you playing around with trying to do some kind of pack shot for a beer, right?
Yes, exactly. You got it right. Like I wanted to do some ads because I didn't have like any advertisements. So I was like, yeah, let's do some beer.
Cool. So first thing that I would tell you is this bounce is really strange. Like no one would ever drop the can like this and then it bounces up and down again. So it's like, because it looks very strange. You see it goes really quick and then it drops there and then it bounces one frame up again and then it goes down again. That's a strange thing. Often these kind of commercials, they drop once, and usually with a hand, even with a hand, and you just see it boom, like one thing. So I don't think you need this little bounce there, because when you're playing it, it looks really strange. It almost looks like there's a mistake on the motion blur or something. So I would definitely just have it drop once. The bounce makes it look weird. Now, in terms of the lighting itself, I think it could be better in terms of the lighting, because often these kind of pack shots have really nice studio lighting. And usually you get like this really nice rim light behind, and you get like really nice, you see even the reflections of the lights on the set, because they do anything they can to try to pop the product. And right now, your product is black over black, and you need to kind of, if this was shot for real by a DOP or from someone filming a commercial, the background would have a light behind it. So you would have had a light behind the beer, and you would have seen lighting coming through. I'll show you. If I, for example, go to, I don't know, like let's see, Guinness, for example. Since I have a Dublin shirt, why not? I'll put a Guinness a Guinness commercial image. So of course I need to get a darker one. That would be nice. Poster. Let's see if I can find a poster. Heineken, maybe it might be darker. Let's see here. This is old stuff. Yeah, maybe that's not a good idea to put Guinness. Maybe it should be something else for us to see it. None of that. Even this one, which is black and black, you see the amount of lights that you have on the glass itself. You have these really nice strikes of light, and then you have this nice rim light around it as well. Even this, you can already see that. It's really tiny, I know. But let me put Heineken then. I think they are a bit, usually they're a bit darker, the commercials they do. Well, that's all. Yeah, you see that? That's what I mean. Have a light behind, and then you see these really nice lights on the side. These are from the studio lights.
Yeah.
I definitely think you're missing that on your lighting setup. Sorry, this is the other showreel. So you see, if you look here, I would have loved to see lights there on the sides left and right. And then if you would have put a light behind it, then it would have popped up this background a bit more. Then you would have seen a bit more of the beer. That would have been what I
would make the droplets more pop.
Yeah,
pop more
exactly. So you would have had a rim light, and you would have seen behind as well. I'm just like checking. Is my stream gone? Oh no, I think you're still on with me, of course, because we're on we're on the separate call. But I think the stream went down just for a couple of seconds. Just for a second or two. I think it's back now. Yeah, it's back. It just had a momentary breakup. Yeah, so that would be what I would advise you, just to pop that, because normally they always shoot these beers like that. They always have a lot of light, and they always have, something behind. There's always something behind the bottle, so that you can see it, so that it's not so black. That's why. Okay, cool. So, let's continue. Now, that's for the light. Then, we already talked about the motion blur and the step. The water, I think you did a great job with the water. The water looks great. If anything, I would just say that as a commercial, I think the director or whoever would be doing this with you would have asked you to have the water disappear quicker on the middle so that you see the package. Because at the moment you have, it's covering the package so much. It's almost like they would have probably art directed to have the water more on left and right, and then the middle would have a bit less water. And then the droplets would have faded in quicker on the front. Because you cut before that happens. And so we never have the bottle alone. We never have the bottle as a pack shot. So that would be what I would say. Yeah, so Gel is like sending me some links here, so I'm just gonna see what is he talking about. So is it reference Gel? Is that? Oh yeah, here we go. So he sent me just this reference here. You see, that's one reference of he did find a Guinness with a light. This is, of course, is just one-sided light, but you see how a nice rim light there. Then we have another front box light here as well, which is really nice. That's a nice example. Let's see the other one that he sent me. What is this?
And it's still my idea.
Yeah. Yeah, you see this? Even this, which is... This is actually similar to yours. But notice how you have a light behind, and then you get this really nice rim. So, yeah, that's really what's missing on your can. You see?
Yeah, I just have it like really, really dim, basically, and it just completely... falls under the table, basically.
Yeah. Most of the time when we have, a lot of times when we have pack shots, we always have rims or lights behind them, just to fix that as well. That's the first thing that the photographer will do when they're trying to do these things. Okay, so we're back with the birds. That's the same, the same as before, right? The same film.
Same story as always. Yeah. So, lighting night again.
Cool, man. So you only did lighting and rendering. So you did not do texturing or any of the other things, just the lighting and rendering. Yeah. So, yeah, this looks cool. Nice mood lighting. It's missing a lot of things from compositing and missing a lot of things from CG as well. I feel like should have had more wind flying through so that the fur would have moved more and the feathers would have moved more. Needed more light wrapping. The beak, the mouth looks very plasticky. So there's a couple of problems that have nothing to do with you, but which really bring down the shot. This is not as well accomplished as the other shots. I think the other shots look better from this film. But it's a nice lighting that you have there. The sun is behind, so it would be silhouetted. So I'm assuming this is the moon, right? Reflecting to them, to the bird.
Yeah.
That's probably the case. Yeah. So I think that would be one thing that I would say is that it is a bit lacking compared to the other shots. But you have the other shots, so it's not necessary that you need to leave this one.
Okay, so maybe I'll just replace it then.
I think so. It's not as good as the other ones. Okay, so this is Exit Pangea, right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's also a film university shot I did. And there, just to show some screen replacement, was a huge pain because they put like the tracking markers on the TV.
which
and
was
painting
which
some,
was which was pointless, really, to be honest.
which was absolutely pointless. And
Yeah.
they had it like every shot. So it was like a huge pain to key that one out, especially they had so much fog in there as well. So that was fun.
Yeah, of
But
course.
yeah, compositing, I replaced the screen basically, just to show also that I can do the most fun part in replacing screens.
Yeah, you did a good job. I feel like the keying and the rotoing, I can see the detail of the hair and everything. That's looking good. If anything, the background, which is on the screen, is producing some quite big highlights. I would assume that you would have seen a little bit more light wrapping on the bright area, especially the front one and the back one there. Also, I would say that when I look at the screen that it was there, it's very, very foggy. There's a lot of atmosphere. I feel that it needed a little hint of lift so that it would look a little bit more like it was foggy. Because if you look closely here, look at the gray levels at the bottom of the monitor. That's the bottom of the screen, which is a little bit gray. And then the screen itself is way too black. So either this is the best LED screen of the world, or you went a bit too far. I think the black levels are a bit too much. So it needed a little bit more lift on the black. So if you go inside of Nuke, if you just go with the grade node and just put like a 0.001 of lift, it probably would be enough to just hint a little bit the blacks inside, so that the blacks would match a bit more. Other than that, I think it looks great. I think that's the only two little things that I think needed a little bit more work, But it's a good job with the keying and the roto. It looks great. The hair's detail is really nice. Cool. And then what's up with this? What's going on?
Yeah, this is a university, and that was like together with the camera department to show them, this is visual effects and we can do this kind of stuff. So it was like just a really fun short movie.
Cool.
Where we and then we shot her really basic, as you can see also with the light setup, and then it was like our task to do something fun with it. So I decided to, because it was in the middle of COVID, I was feeling an apocalyptic mood. I decided to like destroy everything.
I see.
And
Okay, so I'm going to say one thing that has nothing to do with your work on the shot, but it is really peculiar. Why would she be looking at her phone on the middle of an apocalypse nightmare? Like, you see what I mean? Like, this is the end of the world. It's all dead. And she has cell reception? And she's on what, on TikTok? It's a bit strange that she's on the phone. That's a bit weird.
Yeah, true. Yeah, this story, it was like a really comedy story, basically. She was ordering toilet paper. That was the story.
Okay, so then if it's a comedy, maybe it works out fine. Now, here's...
But yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah, but that's okay. Mikael saying, "Hey Siri, where's the next Starbucks?" It's not here. Okay, so one thing I would say is that everything was looking quite nice until you've wrapped up the grade here. I think the shot was looking quite nice when you had more atmosphere. So you see, before the grading, you've pushed the grading a bit too far, and it lost some of the atmospheric that it had. So you see, when I go for the frame before you put the grade, that's looking much nicer because you get this nice atmospheric look to it. Although I would say that it should have more, because it's a city, it's sunlight, it's apocalyptic, there's probably a lot of dust on the air. I would definitely think that this environment here should be much more faded into the distance. And that could have been achieved very easily with just a cheap depth pass. If you would have just rendered an anti-aliased filtered depth pass, you could have just used that to grade a bit more of an atmospheric fog, so that these buildings on the back there should be a lot more brighter and also a lot more lifted in terms of the blacks than the interior. I feel like especially because if you look from an exposure point of view, from lighting, if someone was about to photograph this, because she's lit and this dark area is quite visible, I would say that outside there would be completely overexposed, because there is no camera in the world which would catch that. So I would say this sky should be overexposed. It would be light wrapping into the buildings, and the buildings would be much more lifted and atmospheric. So either you put more atmosphere behind there, and then you don't need to overexpose, or you need to overexpose because of the sun, because the camera is exposing to her. And so you need to choose. You need to either choose, okay, I'll leave the exposure on her like it is and it's visible, and outside it's burned out with the sun and a lot of light wrap, or I put more fog and there's less sun, but then it needs to be more fogged outside. So you need to kind of pick which of them. I mean, it depends on where you want to go. I mean, it could look cool either way, but it definitely needs some work on that sense. And you actually see it on your reference. Look at here. Look here. You see, you're exposed to her there. Look at the bright of the walls and look outside. There's nothing there. It's completely overexposed. So you need to bring that into your shot or put the fog, one of them. But usually the plates always show you what things need to be done. And especially these lights here, you see the lights on the wall of this. This is the school, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the school.
Yeah. So you see how this should have been the same as well. Here, these ones could have also overexposed, just like you saw on the walls of the school, you know. So.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So I think from the problem here is that because you're trying to sell yourself as a lighter, you need to be careful with this, because this just showcases that you do not understand light. You need to be careful with these things, with these kind of shots. This would be if I was a supervisor, this would be the shot that would tell me more about you. Because I would look at this and like, oh, well, you know, he doesn't really understand the basic principles of lighting. So how can he be a lighter? So you need to be careful with showcasing. Just keep be more attentive about the exposure and about where is the exposure fitting and what is overexposed. And don't be afraid of overexposing. Like, there's no problem with that. And there's a lot of films that have overexposure. You know, that's not a problem. It's a very typical thing, especially when you're filming an interior with an exterior. Very, very common that you have overexposure. So otherwise the shot starts to look like an HDR photo, and often films don't really look like that. So just be careful with that. Now, I would say that, you know, your showreel is really strong. You have some nice shots here. You're talented. Congratulations. I would say that from my point of view, you should like order the shots in a different way. I feel like I would definitely start with anything that is more produced. So, you know, this underwater shot looks nice, but it's a test. I feel like it would have been nice, you know, maybe start, let's see here. Which one would I start with if I look at it? Perhaps I would have started with the fish, maybe, or the tunnel, one of them. The fish is a test as well, I know, but it looks more like maybe the tunnel then, because the fish is also a test. And then maybe jump into the birds, and then go to the tests. And I would remove this ship. I don't think it's good enough to be on your showreel. I don't think it's good enough compared to the rest of your showreel. I also think every shot had little things, little tidbits that needed some work. So I think the shot that needs more work is the final one. I think that's the one. Not a lot of work. It's a really simple lighting thing that you just need to overexpose or fog. But this shot definitely needs more work. But yeah, it's a nice showreel. Tell me one thing, like, this is 2024, so do you have new shots to put in, or are you working on something else? What's going on there?
At the moment, there's like not really something new out of like the movie or like from movies.
Yeah.
But before I wanted to apply, I wanted to like take some time and do some. Maybe I'll actually just redo the product shot and just redo some stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I think the beer shot would be nice for you to slightly redo in terms of lighting. That would have been nice because that would have showed that you understand like product lighting, you know, like product placement lighting. That would be nice, I think. So yeah, maybe I would agree with you as well. So
yeah, that's my plan basically.
okay.
And also maybe also redo the hanger shot, fix the anti-aliasing problems and motion blur and frames. So yeah, that's my plan basically.
Okay. Mikhail has a really good point here. This bridge is going to nowhere. There's no passage.
Yeah, you can. Now you can. I think it's still in, but there's a door, and also in the original, it's quite a random bridge, and the column is literally going through the bridge.
I see. There's like a door there, and you guys, you have that, but it's just that it's covered by. Yeah, there is. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
there is a bridge.
Ivy.
There is a bridge there.
Ivy covering it.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's just
but it's a really random bridge. Like our school has so many random bridges, and it's so hard to get around.
Oh, it's
like
the architecture.
Map, basically.
The architect just thought it was cool to put a bridge there.
Yeah, the architect who designed our school was a prison architect, and I think it shows.
Cool, man. Well, I mean, cool. Well, anything else that you would like to talk about, or are you happy?
No, I'm really, really happy. I'm really thankful for your constructive feedback. Got a giant list to work on now.
Cool. Well, we'll be here on YouTube, so you can watch. You can watch it again.
Yeah.
It's the same link, so it'll be public. So you can always watch it again. So, but yeah, thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for taking the time to because I had no one for the stream, so I much appreciated for you two coming in like that in such short notice. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you very much, and yeah.
Cool, man.
Maybe we meet at next year FMX then.
Yeah, and also like don't forget that you can always send it back, and you can always return to the stream if you want more feedback, or if you want an updated feedback from the showreel. I'm happy. I'm here. Just contact me again, and we can go through it again.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Hugo.
Yeah.
Hope that Lewis gets the win next week.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I'm a bit unsure about it. That doesn't look like. Now I'm just thinking about the car next year, because they are probably doing it because of the new regulations, So maybe next year, but I don't know, man. He's getting old. I don't know. Like yeah. It is a shame.
Not looking to it.
No, it's not. It's not. I kind of have I kind of have a feel that Piastri is gonna get it this year. He's gonna have the championship because it's just
this year.
Yeah,
he's so much better than Lando.
Exactly, it's much more consistent. That's the thing. That's the whole thing here. He's so much more consistent, and Lando does so many mistakes, and Piastri is just cold stone. It's like he's so cold. Like never nervous, never, he probably has a resting beat rate of like 40 or something. It's really weird. Yeah. No, guys, if you didn't understand,
up in Australia, it does.
Yeah, exactly. Because, sorry guys, we're talking about Formula One, but maybe I should do a stream about Formula One. I'm a huge fan of Formula One, so I really enjoyed it. But I did enjoy the race anyway. I was really, really happy to see Leclerc almost getting the third place. That would have been nice.
It was so unlucky with the safety car.
Yeah,
if that wouldn't have happened, probably.
Yeah, he would have been third. I think so as well.
Yeah.
So it was a shame about Antonelli as well. He was really unlucky with the safety car as well. It would have been nice to see him be a bit higher as well on the thing. But yeah, hey, I had fun, so that's what's matter.
Yeah, first really, really good race.
Yeah, exactly. It was really exciting. It was really, really a really nice race to see. Cool, man. Well, thanks for the little Formula One thing there. Cool,
Thank you.
See you later. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
Okay, cool. We're going to go and do the giveaway and then wrap up. We're not going to do a break today because we only had one reel. Now, I just wanted to let anyone, like the person that was supposed to do the reel today, they've been emailing me saying if they can join now. I'm really sorry, Arkin Ran. I mean, I was waiting for 25 minutes for the reel review. I don't know what happened. I can see if I can find out what happened there. You definitely had the correct link. I had the correct link, so I'm not sure why you say that you were waiting on the call. I definitely checked now. The link was the correct link. And you only have one link anyway. So I apologize. We're going to have to do it next time. So maybe sign up for the next one. I'll email you as soon as I finish this reel review. As soon as I finish the stream, I'll email you and I'll ask if you want to join the next time. So yeah, it's fine. I'm not gonna do another one because I was only supposed to do one today anyway. So, and I already did it. So yeah, and and Mapu, thank you so much for joining the reel review, and it was great to see your work. No, Mikhail, I do not have a Ferrari shirt anymore. I didn't lose the sponsor. No, I wish I had a sponsorship from them, but no, I just like I just found that like maybe it's because of the shirt that they're losing. Maybe I should stop it. I'm just like saying that. No, so I brought a shirt from my visit. I visited Dublin last week, and so I brought a shirt from the Temple Bar there. So I was on vacation last week. So yeah, so Max Verstappen all the way. He's a great driver. Yeah, well, I don't really like Max Verstappen, so I'm sorry to say that. I don't really like it. Okay, so let's do the giveaway, and then let's wrap up the stream. No, I'm not a Red Bull. No. No way that's going to happen. No Red Bull here. Okay, so I'm going to do I really wanted to thank the 330 people on YouTube that watched, and I wanted to thank the 50 people that came into Twitch as well. So we had almost 400 people watching today. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, next week we are, well, this week, this week we're back. So this Thursday, 5 o'clock, we're back with the radio show. And then, so that's the radio show for this Thursday. And do not forget that we are then back again with the show review this Monday. So I will contact the artist that was supposed to be here today to see if we can do it. There's 2 slots for next week. So on Monday the 21st of April, that is the 2 slots. I know it's Easter. I completely forgot it was Easter. But, you know, it is what it is. If people want to show up, they'll show up. But yeah, let's do the giveaway here. And I'm going to put the giveaway... No, that's fine. So let's just draw the winner here and see who won. Let's see here. Brian, I was in Dublin during the week. Could have had a Guinness with you. Maybe next time, my friend. Maybe next time. I was on vacation. I was with my wife, and we were just like strolling around, going to museums and seeing some exhibitions. And yeah, that was it. Maybe next time, my friend. I was only there for a few days anyway, and we had a busy schedule. Okay, so the winner is just deleting the email. I don't want to share the email. Okay, let's see here. The winner is I'm Kahald. I guess that's how I pronounce that. I hope it is. I really hope it is. I'm not sure if I pronounce. I'm sure I mispronounced it. I'm not going to try. So I'm just going to write it on the chats. So it's written on both chats, and someone else can mispronounce it, not me. Hopefully they're here and they can win the Nuke course. Are they here? Are they here? Are they not here? Hello? Are they here? Oh yeah, that's the name. Is that you? That's my mom? Okay. What the fuck? That's my mom. Khalid. Okay, so it's just Khalid. I am Khalid. Okay, I guess that's the name, isn't it? Khalid. Is Khalid here? Is he here? Are they here? I don't know. An Arabic name. Okay, I see. So Khaled, are you here? I don't see you on the chat though. At least not yet. JK. Yeah, maybe they're not here anymore. Could be that. That's fine. I mean, if they see the stream, then they maybe can contact me. But in the meantime, if they're not here, I'm just gonna roll the dice again. I just prefer for people to be here. But if they are gonna show up, I missed my chance last week. What do you mean, Sonar? You missed the chance? What? You won and then you weren't here? Is that what happened? Oh, I should have. Well, maybe if you wanna, you still have a chance. There's the link. If you want to try it again, I'm gonna roll the dice again. So, if you want to try it again, Sonar, go for it. I'll give you a few seconds for you to sign up. hopefully you can do it. Rolling the, you won the giveaway, but last week. But you won? Okay. Did I forget to send you the giveaway? Was that it? Were you not here? Is that what you're saying? If you won last week and I didn't send you did I forget to send you? Is that what you mean? If I did forget to send you, apologies for that. Let me just double check. Did I miss the last week one? Thought I didn't, but maybe I'm wrong. Let me just double check here. Winners. You're not on the list of winners here on my side. Did I repeated the giveaway? Was that what happened? Well, anyway, maybe message me and we can talk about this offline. I'm happy for you to message me on Discord or on Twitter or on social media, and you can maybe explain to me what happened. Maybe you have another name here. I'm happy to try to sort it out. Oh, you weren't here when I called you? Okay, fine. Yeah, I don't have your email here, so because when I repeat the giveaway, the old giveaway goes away, so I only have the new one. So just could you contact me? If you contact me, I can sort that out. So just contact me, message me on Discord or on Twitter or whatever, and I could hook you up. If you were here, at least that's so I can do that. In the meantime, let me just do the roll the dice again. Yeah, that's right. Victor has a new video. That's cool. It's in Italian though, which I don't know Italian, so it's gonna be a bit tricky. But hopefully he does a British version, an English version at some point. Okay. Oh my God. What are the odds? I can't believe you won the giveaway now. Jesus. Okay, the second giveaway is this is so funny. You won again. You won last week and now you won again. This is so weird. We have 50 people on the giveaway, and this is a randomizer that I use called Gleam, which is a software. But you won again. Look at that. This is so funny. That is funny. That you won again. That's no fair. I'll roll the dice again. So I'll give you now. Now I have your email, so I'll contact you and I'll roll the dice one third time. It's fate. I know it is fate. I'll run it again. I'll do it again. Okay, let's do it again. One more. So now I definitely can contact you. I know. If you would have left right away, right? It would have been funny. Okay, so let's see here. Next up now. So now I have the... Okay, so this is really going to be the final one, okay? I'm not going to do any more. Because now this is the third one. The third winner is... Let's see here. So let me just remove the email. Okay. Okay, so third winner is Ramon. Ramon is the third winner. Ramon Zanderin is the winner. Don't know if he's on Twitch or if they are on YouTube, but they are the winners. The third winner of today. Congratulations. I'm not going to roll the dice again. So we've done it 3 times now. So, yeah. That is it, Ramon. Congratulations. Okay, anyway. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And we'll be back on Thursday with the radio show where you all can contact. And we make our little call like a radio show. Anyone can bring in whatever topic they want, and we'll talk a bit about everything, okay? So, thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you all on Thursday. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a great end of the day. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye.